And in defense counsel's opening, so to bring the court up to speed on the record, counsel asked to approach and objected to any reference of alcohol. There's one text in this text message thread or Facebook thread between James and Jennifer. Jennifer on March 17th says, "Gonna get drunk and ride my horse." James responds, "Well, don't get drunk." They have a couple of more text messages in the midst of a conversation that is pertinent to our proofs. And that's because the next exhibit will be text messages from the school shooter to Jennifer Crumbley about seeing demons. And then there'll be evidence of a lack of phone calls, lack of text messages back. And to get back to the court's ruling, the court said no evidence of alcohol or substance use unless it does show some type of parental neglect. So these particular messages are the same time, the same date where the defendant's son is experiencing or stating that he's experiencing hallucinating. So this is all relevant.
And Your Honor, my point is on Exhibit 85, there are texts that do not need to be included to make the point that Mr. and Mrs. Crumbley were at the barn and not with their son. We're objecting to the texts that include buying beer, being drunk on a horse. They are irrelevant. They are also irrelevant to someone being a hypervigilant parent. I would consider myself a hypervigilant parent, and I have some cocktails once in a while. That issue is not relevant. The alcohol is not relevant. It's just an unnecessary part of this text to make them look like they're out drinking when the whole point is that they're out with their horses and not with their son.
Judge, it's not counsel's idea of what the point is.
No, it's not just that they're out with their horses and not with their son, and there's no crime. There's obviously no crime committed by people with children having cocktails, or half this room would probably be in jail. But that being said, the issue is whether or not the shooter's texts are being ignored. That's the point of it.
Right, Judge. And there is, as an offer proof, there's substantial evidence that has been excluded that shows the substance use of James and Jennifer Crumbley. Substantial. We're not introducing any of that because of the court's ruling. But directly on point to this, in the midst of a conversation, it is relevant. It's material, it's probative, it's under 401 if people do know.
Okay, well, am I able to see a specific picture of, because some of it might be, some of it might not be. So I don't want to do this while the jury is waiting. Is there more things like this that it's if the shooter is having some trauma, feeling some trauma, and reaching out to his parents and they're ignoring him, that evidence to me is obviously relevant.
Correct.
So if
I'm not objecting to all of 85. I'm objecting to the portions about alcohol.
Okay.
Judge, the door has been open. Counsel specifically said, I think more than once, that her client is a hyper-vigilant mother. Nobody says anything about having a cocktail, but when there's evidence to show that they are drinking when the son is texting things to the mother, no call back, that's important, and it's important to show the jury what they actually did and spent their time on.
Okay, can I see the text thread again? And is that the only one, because the jury's cooling their heels on that? Is there any more like this?
There are more like this.
Okay, well, maybe we need to do this at 6 o'clock tonight, or should have been raised last night. Okay.
Judge, these exhibits were turned over a long time.
I know.
No. I got all these text messages a long time ago.
Okay.
I found out what they were planning to use from the boxes and boxes of information. I found that out.
Ridiculous.
On,
okay, you've had
excuse me, on Tuesday
okay.
night. Yeah, I've had this discovery, but I can't file a motion to exclude every single line of these things. I filed many motions.
Okay.
I filed a motion about the alcohol. This part of the text that they told me 2 days ago they're going to use includes alcohol. I'm just asking that the alcohol portion be struck.
Okay. I understand that, but I know that there's a lot of exhibits, and I know there's a lot of documents, but we could have had a massive motion in limine fest a while ago, right? So I am loath to make the jury sit there while we're going line by line through evidence. That's very problematic to me.
I didn't intend for this issue to take a long time. I thought this would be a simple objection to just take out the text about drinking, and that's it.
Okay, but, okay, so she says, I'm gonna get drunk and ride my horse. Okay, so that might not be specifically relevant, but at what time is he?
When she's on her horse, that's when he's texting her.
Okay,
And just because she's on her horse and he's texting her doesn't mean she's looking at the text and ignoring him and saying, I'm gonna have a drink instead of I mean.
okay, my understanding was there was a large period of time where he was texting her and she was with her horse. And then maybe sent a picture of the horse. I don't know.
Correct.
Tell me.
Right,
That's-
she's
that's
out
what
of,
Judge-
you're gonna hear testimony from other witnesses that the cell phone signal doesn't work out where the horse place is.
Well, then that's argument for counsel to make.
It is.
Right, but the fact that they're having beers out there with the horses is not relevant to the point the prosecution's even trying to make about the fact that they're unavailable and not responding to their son.
Okay, there's a text from James Crumbley. This is not when I like to do this. Okay. Okay, she says, gonna get drunk and ride my horse. That's at 1:30 in the afternoon. When do you say he's trying to contact her?
That was a day during the week when she was at work. After work, she went to the barn, the text being around 5:50 p.m. When she's at the barn, we know that from pictures and metadata.
Okay, then cans.
And so the court is aware there are no other, we took all other reference out prior to trial of alcohol use in accordance with this court's order. Of course, that's subject to the door being open.
The door was not opened by me saying that she's a vigilant mother.
Okay, so they go to the barn after work. Is that correct? Do we know what time approximately they go to the barn? Because this text is at 1:30, right?
Those texts are from during the day when they're making plans to go to the barn after work.
Right.
And then
Wait, that's somebody else. What-
I believe the text says something about leaving now at,
Okay, so when are they at the barn in relation to his texts about demons?
At the same time,
Okay, but is that at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8
the
o'clock?
first text, the house is on at 6:03 p.m.
Okay,
There's a picture of James on a horse taken by Jennifer. There's a picture of Jennifer on a
and we have
horse
no
at the same
objection to
time.
that.
okay, all right. So she says, I'm going to get drunk and ride my horse, that she's expressing her intention for that evening.
Correct.
I'm going to allow that text, but not the next one about, well, don't get drunk, we are definitely gonna have some drinks, I need to stop and get me a 12-pack of Budweiser bottles, please, I'm gonna keep that out. All right, and, all right, I'm gonna keep that out. She is indicating her intention to go later and ride her horse and get drunk. And when she's riding her horse, when she's at the barn later, is when he is texting and getting no response. So I think that could be relevant to her ignoring her son. All right?
Yeah, problem.
Sure. But this text from James Crumbley, I'm going to exclude. Is there anything else in there that needs to be excluded?
Just for the record, page 432,
Yeah,
the second text. or
yeah,
message
the one
back
from James Crumbley. Is there anything else in there?
I'm looking now.
Yeah. Because I don't want to,
No,
we were making good headway yesterday, but now we're moving at a snail's pace, so.
well, Your Honor, there's also a text responding to the one about buying beers. Jennifer just says, okay, but glass is not a good idea. I mean,
Yeah, that, you can strike that too, because it's referring to the text above. It's not relevant.
so it would just be those two portions.
Okay, yeah, can you strike that? I don't know how easy it is to do it up here, but,
It'll just take a minute.
okay, all right.
This one?
Are there any other issues such as this? before-
I'm looking right now, Your Honor.
Okay, well, we shouldn't be leaking right now.
Your Honor, I mean, the next exhibit has been the subject of a prior ruling.
Okay,
I'm,
good, that's a good way to do it.
okay, exhibit 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92.
We're trying on the fly
Okay.
to edit an exhibit
Okay, go
or
ahead.
an objection we just got, and now there's the,
Okay, I want to find out if there's any looming issues, because
we do too.
they're gonna
because
get their 10,000 steps here.
We do too.
Your Honor, I did not think this objection would be such a process. I simply was asking for like one little part of this to be struck, and
Okay,
objections during trial are common. This is
Okay.
just a very simple.
all right, but is there anything else coming up that would require the jury to step out? There's photos.
Well,
I don't know what objections to step out.
I have objections to many photos that are gonna be brought in through a different witness, but what are they planning to use? Because I have 450 right now. If I know what's coming, I can tell the court.
Okay, well, there's a list of exhibits, and there's, coming after that, after the text messages are pictures. It looks like there's pictures of James and Jennifer.
And we have no objection to those.
Okay, I just want to know if,
Your Honor, if I could just say,
Yeah.
there's a lot of inquiry as to exactly who we're calling next, which exhibit we're, and this isn't a math formula. We really are changing this organically because we're working.
I get it.
So we're trying to be cooperative, but things
Okay.
do change.
I know, and you're not required to divulge your trial strategy and your order and all that. I just am moving a lot of people around, and I just want to know if there's anything else that needs to be handled right now on the record.
The only other objections, I believe, with respect to this witness, at least for the next very long time, are objections the court's already ruled on. So,
Okay, thank you.
okay, so at least we can get through, I mean, this whole page of exhibits with no problem.
All right.
Okay, perhaps council can meet with us after court today to go over the next proposed exhibits, and then we can see what objections.
Oh, okay, yeah, it's just because I don't want to take jury time.
That sounds great.
All right.
Thank
Okay.
you.
All right, so,
So 85 is modified and
yes.
thank you.
Okay. Are we ready for the jury?
I think so.
Okay. I'm gonna bring it up.
With all, when you say all of those, what do you mean?
Everything you're at 85 right now.
Yeah, no, okay, these ones, just tell me how far you want to go, because I do agree with all those. Up through 100. Right, which is already preserved, and that'll be easier. And then I don't have any objections. I mean, yeah.
That's fine.
I didn't expect it. Yeah,
Maybe seated. I apologize, there's a large volume of information, and we want to streamline it for you as much as possible, all right? You're still on go?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, go ahead.
Thank you. Okay, we're on exhibit 84, I think. All right. This is between James and Jennifer Crumbley. Again, Jennifer is in blue, James is in green. We'll start at the top because I recall where we left off. Does he have his phone from Jennifer, March the 8th?
I'm sorry, you said you're on exhibit 84, but I believe it's 85.
84 was admitted.
84 was admitted. Yes, because 85 is March 17th.
84 was on March 8th.
Okay, so you're on 80, I'm on 84, okay, but mine
84 is
just,
on March 8th, and this one is on March,
Yeah,
Yeah,
this is 84 on the screen.
that's 84, yeah.
okay, I'm sorry, there,
He went
it
back.
scrolled down, so I,
Yeah.
okay, thank you.
James responds with, yes, but he won't answer while he is walking. I will let you know the minute he walks in.
Okay. Jennifer's response, I'm serious freaking out. Is he home yet? And then, okay, now we're moving on to 85. So James and Jennifer Facebook messages. This is from March 17th of 2021. And you've seen this before.
Yes, sir.
And this is admitted pursuant the order that we just had on the record, correct, Judge?
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, March 17, 2021, 1:23 p.m. Jennifer writes, cool, leaving at 4 today. Fuck this place. James's response is what?
LOL, you have your stuff for the barn?
Okay. And then Jennifer's response, yes, gonna get drunk and ride my horse. That's March 17, 2021, 1:30 p.m.
Correct.
There's a response back. And then what does James say?
James says, okay, then cans, you have the debit card.
And Jennifer's response, I know, hate my job. Can you bring out last, please? He says yes. Correct?
Right, yes, I'm sorry.
Okay. Okay. Now, on that same day, did you find any text messages from Jennifer's son to her of a concerning nature? This is March 17, 2021.
Yes, sir.
Okay. This is People's Proposed 86. I don't believe we have an objection to this.
No objection, thank you.
Is this 86?
86.
86 in a minute.
Okay. All right. What does Jennifer's son write to her on March 17th, 2021 at 6:03 p.m.?
He says, okay, the house is now haunted.
And then what?
Some weird shit just happens and now I'm scared. Then it follows with, I got some videos.
Okay, Your Honor, I apologize. This was previously the subject of a motion. I do object, however, the court has already ruled it's admissible. I'm sorry, I misspoke.
Yes, I
Okay.
yes, I have already ruled on this here and have.
Okay,
yes,
sorry about that.
No, that's all right.
Okay, please, at the top.
And then Ethan says, continues with, and a picture of the demon. It's throwing bowls. The word bowls is in all caps. He then says, I am not joking. It fucked up the kitchen.
And the next message after that?
He says, I'm just going to be outsider for a while. Can you at least text back?
Okay, so that's from 6:03 to 6:29. The last text, he at least text back was 6:29 p.m.
Correct, yes.
Okay. And the next response from the defendant to her son is when?
2 days later, it's 4:11 in the afternoon. Where's your dad?
Now, this is People's 87 and 88. I don't believe there's an objection to either of these two exhibits.
No objection.
Okay, 87 is the picture, 88 is the metadata with the picture. So, could you please tell us when and where this picture was taken?
It was taken, the GPS similar to the previous ones at a horse barn. He's on a horse. It was taken on March 17th at 6:03 p.m.
Okay, 6:03, that's the same time that the text messages regarding the house being haunted and saw a demon?
Correct.
Okay, and this is actually found on Jennifer Crumbley's phone.
That's correct, it was.
And who's that a picture of?
That's James Crumbley.
And that's St. Patrick's Day, correct?
Correct.
This is exhibit 88 and, I'm sorry, 89 and 90. 89 is the photograph, 90 is the metadata.
And we have no objection to 88, 89, or 90.
And this is also St. Patrick's.
Can you move for their admission before you put them on the screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
This is also St. Patrick's Day 2021, is that correct?
Correct, same day.
And this is an image also on Jennifer Crumbley's phone.
Correct.
Okay. And when was this taken?
On March 17th at 6:03 p.m.
Okay. Same location?
It appears so, yes.
I'm going to move you on to exhibit 91 and exhibit 92. I don't believe there's an objection to either of these pieces of evidence.
There's no objection.
91 and 92 are admitted.
Thank you, Judge. Again, we're still talking about St. Patrick's Day, 2021. What time was this picture taken?
This was taken at 6:28 in the evening.
Okay. And again, is that time and date significant to you as an investigator in this case?
Yes, it is.
Why?
There was a time when Ethan was sending, the shooter was sending the text messages.
Okay. And this is also on Jennifer Crumbley's phone,
Correct.
91 and 92. '93 and '94.
We have no objection to 93 and 94.
93 and 94 are admitted.
Thank you, Judge. Exhibit 93, also a picture captured on Jennifer Crumbley's phone. This is also St. Patrick's Day, 2021, and this is at 6:30 p.m.
Correct.
Okay. Same location as the other photographs we just went through?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now I'm going to go back to Exhibit 83. This has already been admitted. This is the phone log found on the shooter's phone. So the time we're speaking of, those text messages where he sent his mother indication that he was seeing bowls fly off the shelf from the demon, that was between 6:03 p.m. and 6:29 p.m. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. So we already saw that there was not a text back from Jennifer Crumbley, but tell us about the phone log. What do these show?
It shows a phone call from Jennifer Crumbley at 7:24 p.m.
Okay. So that's about an hour and a half after he texted about the house being haunted.
That's correct.
And that was a 19-second call?
Correct.
Okay. Now I'm going to move on to March the 19th, 2021. This is a Facebook conversation between James and Jennifer regarding their son that day. This is People's 95. I don't believe I have an objection to this.
No, there is no objection.
95 is admitted.
Thank you. Okay. Again, Jennifer in blue, James in green.
Correct.
Okay. She said, "Is he awake?" And what did James respond?
James responds with, yeah.
Jennifer wrote, "How is he?"
James then responds with, he woke up looking like he had way, in all caps, W-A-Y, too much to drink last night, complaining about a headache.
Okay. And then her response as well, "He was really worked up and out of control, so I can see why." That's March 19th, 21 at 9:41 a.m.
Correct.
About 48 seconds later, she wrote, "All I know is he needs to eat, go to work, and work hard and not complain, and he can get his stuff back."
Correct.
And then March 19th later on, you responded, "I didn't get it." That's Jennifer Crumbley's words?
That's correct, yes.
Yes. Just you did have marked 95 down for admission, correct?
Yes, that's
Thank you.
admitted.
Okay, now the next day, March the 20th, did you find text messages from the school shooter to his mother, the defendant, of a concerning nature from that day?
Yes.
This is Exhibit 96. I believe this was subject to a previous ruling.
Any objection, aside from what was already noted?
No.
96 is admitted.
Thank you. But we're still on 95 on the slide. James wrote, "Jesus, yes." He said, referring to their son, "Let me ask you a question. Why am I in your guy's room, LOL?" And Jennifer's response is what?
OMG. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Which exhibit is this?
I have to back up just a little bit, Josh. Sorry, thank you. So just to make sure everybody's on the same page, this is Exhibit 95. This is from March 19th, 2021. We've already gone through these. At 9:41 a.m. when Jennifer wrote he was really worked up and out of control. In the same text message conversation, there's no breaks in this exhibit. And the conversation continued. James wrote what?
I totally thought you were giving him a Xanax last night, ...
And Jennifer's response was,
Does he seem better?
and then
No melatonin.
James wrote what?
I know.
And Jennifer wrote,
But he hasn't had one before, so I should have only given him half.
And then James' response is he is doing his school, says his head hurts. He took Tylenol.
Correct.
Okay. And Jennifer's response was, is he okay to work? That's at March 19th at 11 a.m.
Correct.
And James's response,
Was, yeah,
and that's
Yeah.
also, it's 11:13 a.m.
correct.
Okay. And then Jennifer wrote 11:38 a.m. on March 19th. Does he remember what he did?
Correct.
Okay. What was James's response?
James responds with, dude, I am working on a demo right now. I have not talked to him and he is doing school.
And then her response is,
Okay then, geesh.
okay, thank you. And this is 96 that we just admitted. This is from March the 20th of 2021. And again, did you find text messages from the school shooter to the defendant of a concerning nature?
Correct.
Okay, in the blue, that's all the school shooter's words?
Correct.
Okay, what did he write to her?
He starts with, I finished picking up the room. That was at 2:38 on the 20th.
2:33?
2:33, I'm sorry,
Okay.
yes. He then says, I cleaned until the clothes started flying off the shelf.
And then what?
This stuff only happens when I'm home alone.
Okay, that's March 20th, 2021 at 2:34 p.m.
Correct.
And this is the same date and time?
Yes, it is.
And what did he write?
I picked the clothes back up though.
Okay, that's March 20th at 2:34.
Correct.
And when was the next response to that?
By Jennifer was on the 22nd of March at 8:17 p.m.
Okay, so I'm going back to Exhibit 83, which is the phone log found, recovered off the school shooter's phone, specific to these days. Okay, so we just went through March the 20th, and those messages were sent about 2:30 in the afternoon, if you recall, is that right?
Yes, sir?
Okay, and were there any phone calls in that time period?
No, there was not.
Okay. In fact, the next call was 6:37 p.m. on March the 20th.
Correct.
No objection. Oh, I'm sorry, you can say the numbers and that's no objection.
97 and 98, Judge, I believe will be admitted.
We have no objection.
97 and 98 are admitted.
Thank you. So, sir, were you able to tell where James and Jennifer Crumbley were yet again on that day?
Yes, sir.
Okay. This is 97 and 98. 97 is the photograph, 98 the metadata. This is March 20th, 2021 at 1:51 p.m.
Correct.
Okay, and if you recall, the text messages from the school shooter were sent to his mother about 2:30 in the afternoon.
Correct.
Okay, so tell us where Jennifer and James Crumbley were at this date and time.
They're riding the horses again.
$99 and $100
No objection.
Yeah, is it 99?
and $100.
No objection to either one?
No objection to either one.
99 and 100 are admitted.
Thank you, Jim. Okay, now this was taken off of the last picture. Was taken off of James Crumbley's phone, 97, 98.
That's correct.
99 and 100 were taken off of Jennifer Crumbley's phone.
Correct.
Okay, so the capture time here, March 20th, 2021, 11:58 a.m.
That's correct.
Okay, so then that would indicate to you that they were at the barn at least from that period of time until at least 1:51 p.m.
Correct.
Okay. Sir, during the course of your investigation, did you come to learn that the school shooter had only one friend?
Yes.
And did you also learn that that individual was abruptly taken from the state of Michigan about a month before the shooting occurred?
Yes, he was.
And did you review the text message thread between the school shooter and that other individual?
Yes.
Okay. You've looked at the entirety of the phone of the school shooter as well as James and Jennifer Crumbley's phone, is that right?
That's correct.
If you could give us an idea, the volume of the data found in the text message thread between the school shooter and his friend.
There was over 20,000 text messages just between the two people. I've done exams on phones where the combined number of text messages isn't that much.
So what's the relative size and data between that particular text message thread and any other thread between the school shooter and anybody else?
I think the most text between any other person might have been near 500, just an individual person.
going to show you a portion that's been previously admitted by this court of that text message thread from April the 4th of 2021, April the 5th of 2021. That's Exhibit 101.
And the court's previously ruled on this.
All right. 101's admitted?
Thank you, Judge. So we have names redacted. 101 was found on the shooter's phone, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, so in this instance then, the green would be his words, the shooter's words.
Correct, yes.
Okay. Tell us what he wrote to his friend on April the 4th of 21.
The shooter wrote, like, I hear people talking to me and see someone in the distance. And I corrected the spelling of the word distance.
It's April 4th at 11:56 p.m.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
What else?
The shooter said, I actually asked my dad to take me to the doctor yesterday, but he just gave me some pills and told me to, quote, suck it up.
And then what?
He then says, like, it's at the point that I'm asking to go to the doctor. And then he says, my mom laughed when I told her.
So that's April 4th, 2021, 11:57 p.m. His words, my mom laughed when I told her.
That's correct.
Okay. Now, April the 5th at 12:06 a.m. So we were looking at a conversation right up until midnight, April the 4th, and now we're in the early morning hours of April the 5th. What did the shooter write?
Shooter wrote, but I'm having bad insomnia RN for right now and paranoia.
And then what?
He then says, I need help.
And the next slide, or the next text?
I was thinking, I calling 911 so I could go to the hospital.
And then there's a response from his friend on April the 5th
Correct.
at 12:12 a.m. And then what did the shooter write?
The shooter writes, but then my parents would be really pissed.
Now, April the 5th, 2021 at 12:38 a.m. What did the shooter write?
The shooter writes, I'm going to ask my parents to go to the doctors tomorrow or Tuesday again. Then he says, but this time I'm going to tell them about the voices.
Okay. Next text.
He then says, like I am mentally and physically dying.
Before we get to Exhibit 102, in the course of your forensic examination of James's phone, Jennifer's phone, and the school shooter's phone, you're able to look at certain apps that are installed, is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. And did you discover if an app called Life 360 was installed on Jennifer Crumbley's phone?
Yes, it was.
Okay. And what is Life 360?
Life 360, it's a tracking app that friends and family can install on their phone so they can know where they're at. I have it on my phone, and there's a family group, and my kids are on it, and I'm on it, my wife.
Did you find that app on James Crumbley's phone?
Yes, it was.
And through that app, you can see where someone's at and where they've been. Is that right?
That's correct.
And you look through the school shooter's phone as well, the defendant's son.
Correct.
Was that app installed on his phone?
No, it wasn't.
So it was just installed on James's phone and Jennifer's phone.
Correct, it was.
And that was on April the 5th of 2021.
I believe that's when it was installed, yes.
That's the same day as these text messages, like I am mentally and physically dying and asking to go to the doctor.
Correct.
Exhibits 102 and 103.
I'm sorry, are these, this is 102 and 103? We have no objection, sorry.
102 and 103 are admitted. I'm sorry, did you say that the date of the installation was April 5th? Is that what you said?
Yes, ma'am.
So on the screen here, we can see the timestamp purchase date, April 5th, 2021. That's on Jennifer Crumbley's phone, correct?
Correct, yes.
Okay. And exhibit 103 on James Crumbley's phone, we have April the 5th, 2021 as well.
Correct.
During the course of your evaluation of all the electronic information, digital evidence available to you, did you uncover evidence in the spring of 21 of Jennifer Crumbley talking to a friend about what she saw as depression in her son?
Yes,
And were you able to review a Facebook conversation between Jennifer Crumbley and actually the school shooter's only friend's mother?
yes,
Okay. So I want to make sure that I'm clear with you. In April of 2021, which is the same month of these text messages, Jennifer Crumbley texted her son's only friend's mother, correct?
correct.
Okay. And in that conversation is when you uncovered concerning text messages as an investigator to this case.
Correct.
This is 104.
Thank you, and let me just take a quick look, I'm sorry. Yeah, I have no objection to this, thank you.
104 is admitted? It's just 104, right?
Yes, thank you, Judge. Okay, this is April 29, 2021. Now, this is from Jennifer Crumbley's search warrant return, correct?
That's correct.
So she's agreeing to these.
Correct.
All right. So what did she write?
She starts with, Ethan isn't bowling tonight, just want to let you know. Not sure if they need a partner or not.
Okay, and then her son's friend's mother, also named Jennifer, writes, is he feeling okay?
Correct.
And the defendant's response?
She responds back with, yesterday he wasn't, and he's been acting kind of depressed, so I don't know what's going on.
Okay, this conversation continue?
Yes, it does.
What does the defendant write?
The defendant says, I'm not sure if there's something bothering at school. He really doesn't feel good. I can't get anything out of him.
Okay, and the person she's communicating with writes her son's name too. He stayed home from school today. The only time he's happy is when he's with the school shooter.
Correct.
And then her son has 2 E's and 2 D's. I'm wondering if he's worried about that. That's the other individual worried about her own son.
Correct.
Okay, that's 5:24 p.m. on April the 29th.
That's correct.
The conversation continues. What does the defendant write?
Defendant says, yeah, this is all new to me. I'm not used to Ethan being moody. He's usually pretty happy, and we'll talk about anything. I do know Ethan's been stressed about school and his grades. We called the school, but she wasn't in. Social, do it tomorrow. I think his grades have a lot to do with it. He just got to a point where he got so far behind, we were out of town. He's having difficult time making it up.
And then the other individual writes, I'm sorry, her son's struggling too. To be honest, I'm sick of fighting with him about it. Stupid online school really messed him up. I'm thankful her son has the shooter as a friend. They laugh and have a great time together. That's April 29th at 5:31 p.m.
That's correct.
Okay. And then what does Jennifer respond?
Jennifer responds with, yeah, me too. I'm just glad they're still getting along. And it wasn't an issue with those two as to why he was being depressed. The online school is horrible. I've given up too. I just told him to do the best. Don't worry about it. Next year is a new year.
Okay, and then what's the next text?
She says, maybe if, referring to the shooter's friend, feeling better, if he wants to come over after work on Saturday, he can take him up to go bowling and make up their scores. He's more than welcome to stay the night and go to work in the morning. We set up a little shooting range in the backyard for Ethan's BB gun. They could do that.
Okay. Okay, and the response was her son's been excited to shoot.
Correct.
Okay, and that was April 29, 2021?
Yes?
Okay, now, around this time frame in the text message conversation and the videos on the school shooter's phone, did you discover extremely disturbing information?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and I'm not asking you to go into detail, but as an investigator, it was important to you.
Yes, it was.
Okay, and in fact, it was in the days after these messages were sent.
Yes, it was.
Okay, and the school shooter shared that with his friend, his only friend he had.
That's correct.
And you mentioned that his only friend was taken out of the state,
Correct.
and it seemed to be without notice to the school shooter.
Correct.
Okay. Did you uncover evidence that either James or Jennifer Crumbley commented on the fact that his only son was taken, or his only friend was taken out of the state?
Yes.
The This is exhibit 105.
Yes, I have no objection to 105, thank you.
105 is admitted?
And you said that was around about a month before the shooting in Oxford High School?
Yes, it was.
Okay. So this is from Jennifer Crumbley's Facebook, again, to the mother of her son's only friend.
Correct.
Okay, and this is October 31st, 2021, 9 o'clock in the morning?
Yes.
Okay, and what does she write?
Jennifer writes, James filled me in on Ethan's friends last night. I'm so sorry you guys are having to make such a hard decision. Please let me know if you need anything.
Okay, and then November the 3rd, she wrote what?
She says, how are you guys all doing? Been thinking of all of you a lot.
Okay. And you know from your investigation, this is the time frame when the shooter's friend was taken out of the state.
That is correct.
Okay, in this conversation, November the 4th, that other individual writes what to Jennifer Crumbley?
She writes, hi Jen, we're doing okay. It was the hardest thing I've ever had to do. I worry about him constantly and miss him terribly. I know that he's where he needs to be to get better though. Thanks so much for checking on us. I appreciate you and your family. She's referring to her son, the shooter's friend, was only happy and relaxed with you guys.
And in response,
Jennifer responds with, please keep us updated. I know Ethan misses him. If you guys need anything at all, please don't hesitate to ask.
and that was, again, in November of 2021 before the shooting.
Correct on the 4th, yes.
Okay. Now I'm going to direct your attention to the days around the shooting and what you were able to obtain as far as a digital footprint of the Crumbley family.
Okay.
Starting November 26, 2021, is that date significant to you?
Yes, it is.
Why is that?
That was the day the gun was purchased.
And we heard yesterday that the gun is in the murder weapon?
Yes, sir.
Okay. That was a 9mm Sig Sauer handgun?
Yes, it was.
Okay. That's been admitted in evidence, and we heard it was bought from a firearm store in Oxford.
That's correct.
Okay. This is 106?
I have no objection to this one.
Okay, 106 is admitted.
Okay. This is just as an example, what information you can obtain from a search warrant on a Gmail account.
That's correct.
Okay. And so this is from James Crumbley's Gmail account, November 26, 2021, confirming that he was in fact at that firearm store at 12:08 p.m.
Correct.
Okay. Now, we talked about obtaining locations from somebody. This is 107.
We have no objection.
107 is admitted.
But before we get into 107, Exhibit 417, it's a video. Sir, in your analysis of the shooter's phone and Jennifer Crumbley's phone, social media accounts, you were able to obtain videos taken by the school shooter with that handgun, the murder weapon?
That's correct.
Okay. So 417, people moved to admit and publish to the jury. It's a video taken from November 26, 2021.